Hello. Once again, the good doctor is back. Skip Mahoney 22. And I'm just going to get right into it. I've been busy. Busy putting out content for you guys and ladies for the purposes, why? Of giving you a world-class education. That is my spiritual assignment. That is my mission. Somebody asked me, do you have anybody serious in your life right now? I said, you mean like serious girlfriend, wife, significant other, et cetera, et cetera? They said, yeah. I said, no. And I said, why not? I said, because unless that particular woman, number one, likes me and I like her, in other words, we're attracted to one another just physically. Number two, there is a strong energetic connection, which means a vibrational connection. And number three, she has to be 100% behind me in terms of me executing the mission. And this is where a lot of you guys make mistakes. I'm going to get into a video series, probably about 3 videos on just relationships alone. You make a mistake because if you are on your purpose, if you are keeping yourself physically healthy, if you're keeping yourself energetically balanced, and if you now realize your mission and your assignment, and you bring someone close to you who is not 100% committed to helping you execute the assignment, I have no use for them. Doesn't mean I can't be friendly with you. Doesn't mean I can't go out with you. Doesn't mean I can't talk with you. Doesn't mean I can't even have a relationship or a friendship with you. But I'm not going to be that close to you where I can call you a significant other in my life. Not going to happen. So if you're, and guys, this is for you, women as well, because if there's a woman who comes to me at the same time, she has a mission, hopefully similar. And of course, I have to be connected to that mission. And this is what the nature of teamwork is. And this is why relationships fail. Because the people you choose are not, they're good people. They're attractive people. They're smart people. But they ain't for you. I mean, quite simply, if they're not connected to your mission and your spiritual assignment. And if you don't know what your mission is or your spiritual assignment or why you're down here on planet Earth in the first goddamn place, excuse my French, then you probably shouldn't be with anybody. You should be figuring out who the hell you are. Who? And then comes the what. Previous video. Go check it out. Today's video, again, won't be long. We're at 3-4 minutes now. Oh, and so that little tidbit on people asking me about relationships, that's the bottom line. But, you know, what I'm demonstrating is why things fail. Why logically a good match, logically, everybody thinks it's a good match. Oh, he's a good man for you, or she's a good woman for you. Why they fail? Because you people don't understand what a good match is. We'll get into it on another video. I did put the twin flame videos out. It wasn't really about relationships, but it does cover some of this issue. But again, your spiritual assignment has to come first. A woman that's going to be with me has to be fully connected to that assignment, or at least helping me accomplish that work. It's real simple. Y'all know who I'm talking to. There's a few of you out there, you know directly who I'm talking to. Anyway, not calling anyone out. It's all good. Oh, and I'll say that at the end of the video. So what is the purpose of this video? I want you to conceptually begin to understand. And again, a lot of people, especially the ones I play basketball with, these guys I've been playing basketball with for a while, they're like, hey, Skip, how old are you, man? I laugh at them. I said, why? Because you're getting your ass run off the court. It is true. And it's sad. They're 20, I said this in the last videos. What the hell is your problem, man? You're out of shape. You can't go to boxing class and last an hour. You can't, you're in basketball, you're huffing and puffing. You got to sit down and take, what is your problem? Which, I was in the gym yesterday. So I had, and then sometimes I'll sit down on a bench in the gym and boom, here comes that meditative state. And I've said this before to many my close associates, but I'll say it now to the public on YouTube, which really isn't the public, because most of y'all that are on YouTube probably already know me in some way, shape, or form. That there is your chronological age. It is the age that you're celebrating with your birthdays. How many birthdays have you had? That is your chronological age. What is next? Next is your biological age. Can you give me a quick second to let the good doctor tell you what he means? I was treating a guy in the hospital what's today, Saturday? So 2 days ago. 52 years old. But biologically, he deteriorated into a man of 72 years old. I brought up this before. So there is your chronological age, but that's not your real age. There is your biological age, which is a little bit closer to your real age. And there is something that I call your emotional age. In other words, you could be 35, 40 years old and functioning like an 8-year-old on an emotional level. Any one of you the young doctors, residents in psychiatric training, young nurses especially, if you look at the psychosocial part of the psychiatric evaluation, I'll often say the person is at this chronological age, but functioning at this age emotionally. And this is where I can tell, just by understanding the emotional age, the emotional maturity age of that person, where the trauma took place, where it began to function, where it began to exert its negative toxic effects, normally from abuse, family dysfunction, and the whole rest of it. And poor diet goes along with that. I mean, did you know we're celebrating 60 years of Captain Crunch now? It's all over the news and the commercials, even on YouTube. Captain Crunch's 60th birthday. Fucking kidding. Stop! Stop with the comedy, man. This stuff is so funny to me now. Sitting at least partially disconnected from the Matrix, partially up the mountain, out of the forest, that this becomes hysterical. But I can't laugh too hard because some of you parents, this is what you're feeding your children. Heart healthy. Captain Crunch in all its various forms. Make sure you get it with crunch berries. I mean, who the hell wants Captain Crunch without crunch berries? Ooh, and then use your skim milk. That way it's healthier. And we now know that the less fat in the milk, the worse the milk product is. The heavier the milk, the more milk fat, the more saturated milk fat. I'll talk about saturated fats when I get into the video of fats, which is now coming. I have all the slides. I'll upload them to my Instagram page. But I don't want to overwhelm everybody with too much information or too much material at once. Little by little. So, we have your emotional age. And for most of you, your emotional age does not add up to your chronological age. We have a biological age, and for most of you, your biological age is older than your chronological age. Why is that? Because you're believing the lies of the Matrix. You're being, as my mother said, son, I'm a good person. And I said, Mom, do you know what you just said? You just said you follow the rules of the Matrix. You try to be good based on their definition of good. You've never been a rebel a day in your life. And therefore you are a slave. You have declared yourself to be a slave. And I got to ask my mom, how is it that you're still a slave in this Matrix conundrum, and yet you have a slave who is a rebel to the core, but not really? I'm just about to uncovering the nonsense and the crap in this Matrix, and that makes me a rebel. So be it. All right, so what we have to think about is your chronological age, your biological age, and your emotional age. I'm not going to say much about the emotional age right now, but again, most of the people that I come into contact with have it wrong, have it backwards. Your birthday age or your chronological age is much older than your emotional age. Now, when I see it the other way, especially in younger people, I get excited. Because that person whose maturity is outstripping their biological age has the potential for greatness. They don't know it. I know it. And those are the people that I will reach out to. Even though I know it's extremely difficult, especially if they're female, to reach out to me. It goes against, and here we go. It never fails.
Call from Kevin Thomas.
That's my brother. It never fails. Agent Smiths all over the place, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, for 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 a woman to reach out to me any age, because I can be very intimidating sometimes. Even though if you get to know me, I'm very easygoing and I like to laugh and I'm very playful. At the same time, I can teach you in a way that is, you know, it's not so stoic. It's not so boring. We put some animation to the teaching. But yeah, for a woman, regardless of the age, to reach out and make contact with me means that she has gone beyond her own box. She has literally pushed through her own fear, her own limited thinking, and made contact. So, like I said, those are the people I get excited about because they have potential for greatness, even though they don't know it. I've been around for too long to be able to see it, know it, feel it, and then work with it. So those are the ones that I typically will work with, always respond to, give feedback to, just to let them know it's fine. It's fine to reach out to me, guys. But your self-esteem is the limiting factor. And again, if you're emotionally functioning at a lower level than your age, 22, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60-year-olds are afraid to reach out to the good doctor. So you would rather suffer. Biological age versus your chronological age. How do you, first of all, are there methods to slow that down? Absolutely. Are there methods to stop it and slow it to a crawl? Absolutely. And there's some methods to actually reverse the process. Absolutely. And see, I got tricks within tricks within tricks. Eventually, because I'm giving you a world-class education, you will get all those tricks. The ones that are students that I'm working with directly, they will get those tricks quicker. Not that you should be one of those students. I can only work with a very small number, very limited amount, because it requires a lot of focus and concentration and energy to make sure that they're on the right path, and when they veer off, to work with them on every level. But this is the concept. Biological age. And from a health standpoint, your biological age and your emotional age are more important than your chronological age. I don't care how many birthdays you've had. I don't care how few birthdays you've had. I care about your biological age. I care about your thought patterns, which will be disrupted by your emotional issues. And remember, mood instability, emotional lability, these are earmarks of emotional disorders. And we got to understand that we have to stop reacting to every little push of the button. Emotional reaction, emotional reaction, emotional reaction. You can respond emotionally, but reactive emotionality is what's going to burn out your synergy cell or your internal vital life force. So I just thought I would share with you some of the meditative download that I got last night in the gym. And in case you were interested, that was Sunday through Friday. Today is Saturday. Yes, I'll be in the gym later on. And I'll be in the gym tomorrow. That will make 7 out of 7. The goal is 5 to 6. But if you can do more, you do more. And so when those times when you do a little less, it balances out. But it's probably unless there's a reason, minimum will be 5 days. That's minimum. Preferably 6. This cycle is 7. Push yourselves, people. Gradually but slowly. And then one other thing about water and sunlight. Of course, I always preach about water, sunlight, grounding. The fairer your skin, likely the less sunlight you will require. But make no mistake about it, you require sunlight. And that sunlight has to hit the majority of your body. Your hands and your face and are not going to be enough, man. You got to have 70, 80% exposure to your sun. And if you're not used to getting the sun, then start with 5 minutes, start with 10 minutes. Right now, the sun here in Southern California has become extremely powerful. That's why I spend way more time in the shade now than I do in direct sunlight, because it doesn't take that long for me to get the required sunlight. And you can overdo it. So the darker your skin, the more sunlight you need to stimulate that vitamin D3, D2 to D3. And the fairer your skin, the less sunlight you need, but you still need sunlight. All living human beings require the sun. And without the sun, there is no life, but without the sun, there is no vitamin D3, natural. And you can take this unnatural stuff, and in a crunch, you do what you have to do. However, why deal with the unnatural stuff when nature already has it set up for you to deal with this stuff naturally? The ultraviolet rays of the sun. I'm going to leave you with the mantra of this channel. Think about it. Think about what it means. I've said it many times, and I'm going to say it again, and then I'm going to say goodbye. It is through the understanding and proper use of energy, frequency, vibration, combined with willpower, focused intent, imagination, and creativity, along with your wisdom, knowledge, here go the bees, knowledge and overstanding, with a true sense of purpose. Wisdom, knowledge, overstanding, and a true sense of purpose. Can we overcome this matrix? Hell. Do you feel me? Bye now.